All right, what up, everybody? What's good? What's Gucci? What's happening? What's happening? It's good to see all y'all, man. Welcome to another episode of the Marcus Stewart podcast. As you can see, I got my boy on again, man. It's always good to have him on. But check this out, man. If you've been watching the show, you've been enjoying the show, go ahead and give us the thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, man. I got a lot more episodes for you. But really trying to grow this online community thing. I think more men, we need podcasts like this, just talking to us as men. You feel me? So it's good to see you, my brother. How are you, my brother? How have you been, my brother? It's good to see you, son. What's up, man? How you been, bro?
Man, I've been good. I've been great this week, actually. Great,
That's what's up,
great,
man.
great, man. Great. Things are going great.
That's what's up, man. Every time I tell people you my son, bro, they be like, man, how old is he? I'm like 23. Like, dang, how old are you? I mean, I'm 40. Like, man, you started young. And then they
Yeah.
start counting 17, 25.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, man, it's like that. Like,
That's one of my favorite things to tell people.
What?
My dad turned 40 this year. That's my favorite thing to tell people.
Bruh, that is crazy, man. Crazy. That is so crazy. Everybody always do that. The reaction be the same. Like, that's your son? I'm like, yeah. And when Kiara got up to speak at the service, the guy that was playing keyboard, he was asking me, how do how you know the family? And I was telling him, and I'm like, that's my daughter right there. He was like, her right there. And yeah, what year is she graduating this year? I'm like, no, man, she graduated like 3 years ago. Said that's my son over there. It was like, what? He was losing his mind, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. It's good to be it, still have energy and have adult children. I think it's fun, man.
Yeah.
But you know what, bro? I'm running into a lot of people who they kids growing up and they don't have good relationships with it, man. Or
Yeah.
it's like they trying to patch it or pair it up like at now that they grown.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know, bro. It ain't the
Not the
same.
same. Yeah.
Yeah, it ain't.
I know people like that too.
Yeah, it ain't the same, bro. I was talking to one of my homeboys, man, and he was, kind of frustrated with his kid. And I guess, sometimes as parents, you want your children to turn out a certain way.
Mhm.
And they turn out a different way. And it was like I know he don't hate his kid, he don't have nothing against him. But I guess he just felt like, you know, uh well, Imma just generalize like this generation, the way that they grew up was kind of soft. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like real.
Yeah, I understand it. Yeah.
Yeah, what you think about that, man? What are your thoughts about that, bro?
I think
'Cause
it's
I
true.
kind of yeah,
I
bro.
think
I
it's
was just
true.
gonna say that. I kind of
It's
agree
true.
with him, but coming from I mean, that's your generation, that's your
Yeah.
age group. What?
I think it's true, man. Like
Why though? Why?
honestly, I think a lot of it has to do with the internet, man. With the internet.
The
Now look,
internet.
I have opinions about the internet, but a lot of my opinions revolve around that. I think that's like a big problem in like a lot of our interactions as humans. The
Mm,
internet has changed a lot, and
I agree
some
with you.
some for the better, but
Okay.
there are some things about the way that we interact with each other that are not for the better.
Like what?
Man, like so Christmas is coming up next month.
Right?
Everybody online is saying Christmas just don't feel the same no more. You know
What
what I'm saying? It
is
just
there a
don't feel like
specific reason why though?
that's the thing. People don't speak on the reason why. They like, I don't know why it just don't feel the same like it was when I was a kid. But the more that I paid attention to it, the reason why that is because everybody's in their own world as far as media consumption. So like back then when everything was on TV,
Mhm.
everybody had Christmas specials, you know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
everybody was experiencing the Christmas spirit at the same time. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It
Okay, I
was a
get what you're saying.
collective experience together, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And
Okay.
that's
Okay.
that's kind of why I feel like it felt a little bit more like Christmas because everybody experienced the same thing together, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like and everybody was consuming Christmas stuff. So
Yeah.
it
Together. Yeah.
exactly, it reminded them of Christmas, and then everybody else is being reminded of Christmas at the same time. So it's like collective. But now everybody's on their own, like that. Everybody has their own algorithm. You know what I'm saying? How many times have like we have conversation with people and we say, "Have you seen this show?"
Right.
But back when the shows was airing on TV, you didn't have to ask that. You know what I'm saying? You were like,
Okay.
"Have you seen the latest episode of this
You're
show?"
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Right.
it's a common thing to where you can go to a stranger and find some common ground. We don't have that anymore.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of personalized experiences now.
You know what? That's kind of true because back then SmackDown. If you old enough, look,
Exactly.
guys, don't be
Exactly.
talking about me, alright?
Exactly.
But back then SmackDown used to come on Thursdays,
Right.
and we used to record it on the VHS. But everybody's talking about that Friday
Mhm.
because the show is gonna air on Thursday,
Mhm.
Thursday night at 7. We
Mhm.
had choir rehearsal,
Mhm.
so we missed it. But we were recording, so when we got home, we watching everything, we
Mhm.
catching it fresh like everybody else.
Yeah.
And then that Friday, yeah, you're right. We got something to talk about. We got
Right.
something to.
Right.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, man. I get what you're
That
saying.
now look, that's just one piece to the puzzle. But yeah, the generation now is, I would say, is a bit softer than the ones who came before us.
Yeah, you
in a
know
lot
what?
more
I
ways.
thought you was going with that. I thought you was gonna say it's less like community, I guess.
Yeah.
Like with okay, for example, like with the family, when you haven't seen your people, you happy to see them. It's Christmas time, everybody hanging out, everybody chilling. But I thought you was taking it to that extreme to where with social media has changed it to where like we're not enjoying interpersonal relationships like that no more,
Yeah.
like the way that we used to.
Yeah. It's the same. It's the same thing.
Okay,
I agree
okay,
with both.
okay,
Both
yeah,
both of them prove my point.
yeah. See that I mean, I think social media does have a lot to do with kind of making it weaker, and that's definitely one of those strong points. Like I notice a lot of the younger people don't know how to talk to people. They don't know how to interact. They don't know how to have relationships, which is why so many relationships are failing because you supposed to have disagreements, bro. Like you supposed to be mad sometimes, with
Right.
the people that you
Exactly.
really care about. Like you
Exactly.
my nigga,
Yeah.
right? But you supposed to have that, and that don't mean like
Yeah.
your relationship ain't good or
Yeah.
like you ain't supposed to be going on vacation every 2 weeks.
Every
It's unrealistic,
unrealistic, and that's the thing that like that's the thing that frustrates me too because a lot of times we as far as interactions go, man, I lost my train of thought. But as far as interactions go, like it's definitely one of the things that irritates me about my generation because like talking to people is different now, and then everybody has that's what I was gonna say. Everybody has the
Can't
mindset of like I wouldn't say everybody, but I would say the majority has the mindset of everybody's replaceable. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
like somebody make you mad, it's quick to just block somebody and like kick somebody out your life when you know what I'm saying, it don't really need that all the time. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Sometimes we just need good communication.
Bruh, that is so true. That is so true. Look, if you
Yeah.
watching, leave me a comment, man. Tell me what you think. Why do you think um that this generation why do you think that they're a little bit softer? Or even do you even think that they're a little softer? Because I have a lot of pushback sometimes on that simple thing. Like I never want to come off as like, oh, you don't get it because you ain't the age that I am. Like,
Mm,
nah, it's just like the way that it was back then is just the
it's
experience
different.
was different.
Yeah.
Like we would, everybody they get on social media and they flirt on social media. We had to go
You
up
have to
to her,
go up to
yes,
somebody.
and
Yeah.
take that L, like,
Hmm.
cause she gonna say
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
She probably been flirting with you the whole week at the school, or you wherever you see her at the bus stop, or like y'all ride the same bus or something.
Yeah.
She probably been flirting with you. When you go up, you shoot your shot, she tell you no, and then the next, you seeing her Monday, she still flirting, like you know what I'm saying? Like it
Yeah.
was just,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you had to
It
deal
was
with that.
more interaction. It was
Yeah,
more
yeah,
interaction, man.
yeah. You had to take that rejection. You had to learn how to just get over it, kind of. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then shoot your shot again, or
Yeah.
go find another one. I don't think. I'm not. I hate saying like this generation. I don't think that the younger people though. I don't think that they have that kind of emotional. I don't even know what to call it, like emotional strength to accept the
Resilience.
no.
Yeah.
That's a perfect word, to accept the no and be okay. Like
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I agree
rejection
100%.
and be okay. Like you didn't get the
100%, man.
job and you be okay. Like things didn't go okay and you You got to live with it. They talked about you crazy at school, but you still got to go back to school the next day. And they didn't have sympathy like they got sympathy for people now. Like, but we used to get beat up, and we had to go and like you either gonna get beat up tomorrow, or you gonna swing back.
Yeah, you got to do something.
They didn't have it for us, bro.
I agree, man. I agree 100% with everything.
It's terrible, man.
I think it's definitely softer, especially when you look at like the media that they put out or refuse to put out. You know what I'm saying? Because people get offended. So
yeah,
It's different. It's definitely different, man. It's definitely different now.
I agree with you, man. I agree with you. I think to me, and maybe this is just the parent thing to say, but I think it goes back to parenting. I think it goes back to like how you raise your kids, and if you really like being there, like having certain conversations with them, telling them stuff that they need to hear, as opposed to what you think that they want to hear in the moment. You know what I'm saying? I think it goes back to that. I think it goes back to, you know, like Alonzo said, Alonzo is my little brother, y'all. So we had a conversation like the other day, and Zoe was telling me about like how, to a point, I have been kind of soft on the people that I love. You get what I'm saying? And that was a real eye opener for me, because that's true. But when you do that, you do a disservice to the people who you are being soft on. So to an extent, I feel like, man, should I have been a little bit tougher on y'all? Should I have been a little bit harder? You get what I'm saying? Like I don't know.
On us?
Yeah, on y'all.
Dad, I think you did a good job, man. Especially when I was a kid.
Oh yeah,
like
when you
kid.
You know, trying to tell Dion them that Dion is my other son, my younger son, and Jamar and the rest of my younger kids. So I have a set of grown kids, they are grown. Then I have a set of teenage kids. Then I have a little baby Chunks, Micah. But I don't think that they would completely understand the full extent of how different I was when you were young, and since they, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It would just be different.
Definitely.
It would just be different. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I thought man, I thought I would bring that up to you because I wanted to get someone else's opinion. And look, if y'all got an opinion, leave it in the comments, because I want to hear it.
I want to see it too. I want to see what people saying, because I don't know. I feel like when it comes to the internet, man, internet people say the craziest things,
bruh. They do.
So I don't know. I want to see what they do with this one.
I don't know what. Okay, so here's another. This is one of my opinions. I don't think we have common sense no more, man. Like I don't like, know what happened to common sense.
What you mean?
Like
what you mean?
Okay. I'm gonna try to think up an example, but it's just like, let's say I'm trying to get a certain. I don't want to say it like that, because I'm not always good at explaining stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like 2 + 2 is always gonna equal 4 in my mind, and that's how math works. But sometimes people be trying to make 1 + 1 = 4. Like if you don't stop doing this right here, it's gonna end up like that right there. And don't get mad at me because I answer. Okay, I'm gonna give you one like that. So I have people who they ask me questions about health, and then I tell them sound answers about health, and they get defensive and like, I'm like, bruh, okay, don't do it. You're gonna always, have hypertension.
Hey.
Your blood pressure is gonna always be high. I mean, to me, that's simple. That's common sense. That's probably not the best example that I could give, but I'm trying to get you to see, like, it's just like
I think I get what you're saying. I think I get what you're saying.
Yeah, is that accurate? Is that me just being like two markers?
Nah, as far as that, I would say like my perspective on that is probably like their feelings probably got hurt. Their feelings probably got hurt.
Okay.
That's probably why they got defensive.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Trying to defend their side, like trying to justify certain things that's probably not justifiable for real. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I hear. Like when I hear things like that, I'm like, all right, must have struck a nerve, this person. I heard
You
they
know
did.
what? That's why I like, shout out to my shorty if you watching. But that's why I like my shorty, man. She is like me in the way, like, if something needs to be changed, I change it. And like, if something needs to be fixed or adjusted, I adjust and I move accordingly. And I don't think about, oh, I feel this, or oh, it's gonna make me feel like that, or oh, I don't have those kind of feelings like that. I just do
Mhm.
what's necessary. You know what I'm saying? And she's really like, shout out to my shorty if you watching, sweetheart. But yeah, like I don't know. I think we on a downward spiral, man.
I think so too.
I think we on a downward spiral.
I think
I
so
was
too,
talking to my
Dad.
brothers, man, the other day, and man, just hearing about how many young people, man, are just not ready for life, bro.
Yeah. I think part of that is normal, but like it's at a level now to where it's like it's not a bit like some of it is not normal. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause when you're young, you're not all the way ready for life. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? But like there is a level, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? There's
that you enter into
a
life to say
yeah,
you're not. Of course, you're not ready for life. You're youngster, but
yeah.
you have certain skills that set you up. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
but
okay.
yeah, like some of these younger people coming up ain't got it. Like some of these younger people ain't really prepared for what the real world is actually like. I think a lot of young people have a perception of what it's like
Mhm.
because of the internet.
Right,
Bringing it back full circle, bro.
right,
Because of the
right.
internet, man. You know, it's
Yeah. So explain that for those of you who are watching, and maybe somebody's gonna say, "I'm ready for life." Like, I grew up with social media, but I know I'm ready for life. Like, what do you mean when you say social media? You know, is doing this to make me not ready. You know what I'm saying?
for example, um, one of the arguments that I see on Twitter
Okay.
every now and then is
Toy talk.
the salary. What is a acceptable salary to live?
Oh.
Yeah, the things that these people be saying on the internet, boy.
Mm.
These people be like, I seen an argument where they were arguing whether $100,000 a year was enough to live on, and I saw people genuinely like saying that you can't live off 100K a year, like genuinely saying that, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I guess I mean if your lifestyle is different, but like bare minimum, you can make that work, bro.
Yeah.
You can make
Bro,
that
a
work.
100,000, that's not bare minimum.
Exactly. No,
That's
I'm saying like if like the people who are arguing, if you're like a lavish life kind of person and you used to more than that, I guess, bro.
yeah,
But
okay.
if
Okay,
you're
okay.
just a person who is making $100,000 a year and is living a normal, regular life,
Right.
you are not struggling. You're
Not
not.
at all.
You're
Yeah,
not.
not at
Like,
all.
but that's my point though. So like I see a lot of people, I think that a lot of the young people are forming. I think a lot of young people are
Yeah. All
it's
right,
too
you good.
loud.
Yeah. I don't want you to clip, but go
Oh,
ahead.
I think a lot of young people are forming their opinions off of
You you good, bro. My bad. My bad.
no, you good, you good. But I think a lot of young people, man, they're forming their opinions and values off the stuff that they see on the internet. And when the stuff that is on the internet is stuff like that, you know, you can kind of see how people are being
Bro, and then like, so you expecting to come out of high school, or Lord forbid, everybody
right,
thinking that they don't
right,
need college
right,
or they don't need a
right.
skill.
You
They
think
think they
you
can just
finna
come out
come
and
out
be
of
an
high school and
entrepreneur.
making like bread like that? You know what I'm saying? That's not everybody's
It's
story.
just, yeah, it's not like that.
Yeah.
Like, man, like, I was arguing with this young dude, trying to get him, sorry y'all if y'all watching, sorry. But look, I was arguing with this young dude, trying to get him to see, like, bro, you ain't gonna never stack your money if you always eating out every day. Bro, like, he like, man, he has a bad day. Get this, he has a bad day if he has to Uber Eats. Like, that's a bad day. Man, come on, man. Like, bah. And I'm like,
Mm-mm-mm.
bro,
Bro, do you? Yeah,
Uber Eats, man.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
his genuine argument. Uber Eats.
Was that his job or was that just how he got food?
That's how he got food. He didn't have a job. He didn't have a job because he didn't have a car. He didn't have a car because he didn't have no money. So he's living with his mom, young cat, living with his mom. And the thing is, you know, I don't knock nobody that's staying with their mom. I had to go back and stay with my mom.
Right.
But what are you doing while you there? He don't want to. It's like he don't want to work unless he making a certain amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
When you said that, that's exactly what I thought about. And then I'm like,
that's another thing, man.
So if you're not making that money, why are you Uber eating? What are you doing? That's what I mean when I say common sense.
Yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah.
That
don't make sense, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think you know, a lot of people are gonna be in for a rude awakening, and man, you know, that's why my channel is here, fellas. Because when life hits you and you ain't ready, I got all I got the conversation. But I'm sorry, what you about to say, bro?
I wasn't really about to say nothing, but it's crazy, man. The thing about it is, man, I feel like the internet has a lot to do with this stuff, bro. The internet and our access to it. You know what I'm saying? And there are a lot of other things that the internet has affected for like the bad, for the worse, that I can speak on. But
like what?
Like attention spans.
Oh.
Like if you go and look up the data, bro, the rates of like anxiety has skyrocketed. And it's very congruent with the growth of the internet, bro. Like a lot of people, you know how many I'm in school. So
right.
You know how many people resort to Chat GPT to write a report on something than to actually read it and type it themselves, bro. Like I'm looking online on Twitter and like I'm seeing that everybody's using Chat GPT. They using Chat GPT like it's the magic conch. Like they not doing anything themselves. I had a book report today in one of my classes, and the kid in front of me, he's not a kid because he's a grown man, but bro, he's a grown man. That's the scarier part. Bro, he's a grown man. I literally watched him pull up Chat GPT on his computer and copied everything that they said, pasted it into the assignment, and sent it in, went home.
Humanity is cooked.
And
bro.
I'm literally on there typing it myself, and I'm just looking at him like sad. And that's not just him. It's not just him. That's the thing. It's majority. Like the people who actually do their own work is in the minority. So
how many of you brothers, how many of y'all use Chat GPT? How many of y'all brothers use Chat GPT?
A lot.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself if you can't read a paragraph and write a summary.
The crazy thing is, it's not just that. People are using Chat GPT like AI chatbots for therapy, bro. For therapy. You know what I'm saying?
Stuff that we used to go to school to have to read the book and memorize certain things and patterns.
Not even that. Stuff that you go to people for.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. See, it's that the human interaction is getting worse.
You know what? That's why I still have paperback books.
Yeah.
My brothers, you need to buy books, paperback books. I recommend that. Now look, everybody have the listening and. You know, I get that, but I'm talking about paperback books. When sometimes I use the internet because, like, you know, I know the scriptures in my head, right? But to know exactly where they at.
Yeah, like sometimes sometimes you gotta be like, you know, type in the scripture in the search bar and then show you what it says. You know,
but even when it does that, you know what I do? I pick up my actual Bible and make sure that it's what the thing said on the computer, so I can verify it, and then. I take that and it gives me that, and then I take this and I read it for myself, and I'm like, okay, that's actually accurate because I don't trust it. Like I feel like I'm the Will Smith on iRobot.
I feel like that's me. Like it's slowly becoming me. The more that I think deeply about it, and the more that I pay attention to slight small things in society, I'm becoming that guy, man. Like I don't even like AI. Like AI generated art, AI generated content. I don't mess with it. I don't mess with it, man. I don't like it.
Bro, you know they have AI generated porn.
Yeah.
It's like they have these my brothers.
Yeah.
Shame on you if you got that chat bot AI on your phone where you texting her conversations. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, man.
Yep. They got bots. I mean, they got porn.
And they be doing soft porn like the little animated bodies. I'm like, what?
Yeah, they got it, man. I don't like it. I don't support it, man. You know they got AI artists like on Spotify now. That's a big thing that's going on right now in the music industry.
Wait,
Like
what you mean? What is that? What does that
like
mean?
AI artists, like
Oh, like robot rappers?
yeah, or singers.
WTF to
Like
that?
not real people making this music. It's
AI
completely AI generated.
AI can sing?
Bro, look it up, bro. Look on Spotify, there are legit AI artists that's making bread, like hundreds of thousands of streams.
Somebody is behind that though, right?
Yeah, somebody created it, but my point is that like it's integrating into so many parts of our lives. Man.
Wow. You know what I think about when you say that? So preaching is my thing, right? And how many people are chat GPTing they sermons instead of studying the material?
Ooh, I know somebody doing it. Somebody is doing it.
Bruh.
Somebody's doing. I guarantee somebody doing it. I guarantee you somebody's doing it.
And you know what? I think for me, I think it's good because for the people like me,
Who really do it,
bro,
man.
we gonna shine out here. Everybody that actually got like, we gonna shine out here.
No computer, no internet, just you, your notebooks and Bibles.
Yes,
Who
bro.
can come up with it,
Bro, and just shine. Bro, I know
Yeah.
that's a real thing. But you right on that one, bro.
Yeah,
You right
man.
on that one. Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. But the attention span, you can't sit down and read for 20 minutes. My brother,
Yeah.
can you read a book for 20 minutes, 30 minutes? One of my look, one of my goals, not goals, but one of the things that I do on a daily basis, 20-minute read every day. Now that's not counting the other stuff because I have to read for the other stuff. But 20 minutes of just reading, putting the phone down, putting the phone on silent, picking up a book and reading and writing, taking notes out of the book. I think that's a practice that you should try, my G, for real. The reason why I say that,
I agree.
your mind needs to be trained to be able to focus.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I agree on that. And I think that the phone, the constant access to social media
Yeah.
is a big contributor to that. I think that it should be put down more than it's picked up. I think that it shouldn't be like it shouldn't be like the first thing that we go to
in the
when
mornings.
not even in the mornings, but like when we're in public, bro.
Oh,
I went
period.
to a doctor's appointment, man, and like I'm looking around and everybody's on their phone in the waiting room. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Everybody's on their phone. We was at church and Aunt Eleanor, we was in the back, and this is what really made me like lock in and pay attention to it because I was back there playing chess on my phone, getting ready for what I'm saying. Well, not getting ready, but waiting for church to start.
Yeah.
And it was me, Babe. It was a couple of people back there.
Yeah. People from the church, guys.
People from the church. It was a couple of people back there, like 4 or 5 of us back there. And Aunt Eleanor was not on her phone because she's not. I don't think that she's
Oh,
consumed by it. You know what I'm saying? So like
so what was
she's
she
sitting.
doing?
She was just sitting there. That's the thing. Like she was just sitting there in silence. All of us were sitting there in silence. And you know what's crazy? Because we all love each other and we all love to talk to each other.
Right.
But look, this is the thing that made me realize it was because she said, you know, back in the day, we used to actually talk to each other. And like, and she didn't say it rude.
You're right.
She was just like, everybody on their phones now, you know what I'm saying? Don't
Yeah.
nobody talk to each other no more. And I heard that and I'm like, man, you're right. And I put my phone down right then and there and went to talk to Auntie, man. Cause like that's when I realized it, cause it's like, yo, like it's actually scary how consumed we are in these phones. So I going back to what I was saying before, I feel like it should be put down, man. It should be put down. Oh yeah, it should be put down. It should be put down, man. It should not be like the social media shouldn't be consumed as often as we consume it. You know what I'm saying? As
Gotta agree
often
with
as
him. I
it's
agree
too
with him.
much.
I agree with
Look,
him. I
I
agree
I
with you.
realized it was bad for myself because I would wake up and put on a straight YouTube video. Like I would wake up in the morning and put on a YouTube video, put it in my ear, and get ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not
Bro,
even just sit and let my mind do what a mind does, which is think, which is just let my mind roll.
that
You
is
know
a
what I'm saying?
hell, bro.
Like,
That's a hell of a concept when you say that. Just think. The mind.
exactly, bro. Like,
The mind is you. We are supposed to think.
supposed to think.
And we are so used to having our minds entertained with the phones,
Yeah.
entertained with videos,
And
And I'm not saying it is bad, but when it gets to the level like that, when you waking up and the first thing you doing is on the video,
Yep. Yep. And I was
goodness.
doing that, bro. I was doing that for a while. Like, and I didn't realize it until like just recently, like a couple weeks ago. That's why like I'm on my phone less now. But is that
Mm,
is that I was about to say something else though.
man, you
Oh
about
yeah,
to change
yeah.
that, my
Like entertainment is everywhere now.
bad. Right.
But if you really pay attention to it, everybody's bored. Do you
Wow.
not think that that's a problem?
Wow. Hey,
Like,
yo, that's real
come
though.
on, man. Everybody's bored, but entertainment is literally everywhere.
Everywhere.
Literally everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Man.
there's something going on with our brains that's not normal.
Bro,
Like,
you know what?
with
Hold
this
on.
internet stuff, man.
Because look, bro, this is crazy because so I was talking to my job and I asked him like to speak to me, right? Like speak to me. And I was like, I'm not getting it. I'm not catching it. I'm not this, I'm not that. But the thing is like maybe maybe I'm too into the phone. Maybe because I do that while I drive for work. I be listening to videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
Maybe I should put it on a podcast to actually just talk while I'm driving. Or maybe I should just, not I'm not gonna say just have it in silence, but something to have my mind accessible. And
Yeah.
then picture this. So this could be my job. This is why I stopped you because in my truck, my radio been working, right? It just stopped
It's off
working.
now. Yeah.
It just stopped.
Yeah. You have no choice but to ride in
No
silence, man.
choice but to ride in silence. And
Unless
I
you
was
play it through your phone, like on blast.
I'm not gonna do that because my my AC don't work that good. So
Oh, yeah. Hey, wow, that's
but
crazy.
see, bro, I think that what if that's my job? Like, turn everything off, and then you'll hear from me. Wow, like
Yeah. You know what's crazy?
that's
I
something
was
heavy,
having
man.
a conversation with God too, like about that on my way from home.
On your way from home.
On my way home from somewhere else.
Okay.
And I was talking to God, you know what I'm saying? And something told me, man, just turn off the radio and just ride in silence. You know what I'm saying? Like give God space. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Give God space in your mind and your attention span. You know what I'm saying? Like just give him room, you know? And I did just that. I turned the radio off.
Bro, what if I think somebody watching? So my brother, you watching, or are you trying to tap in? Like, are you trying to get that? I don't know, that little whatever it is that you've been. I don't know if you pray. You can pray. I don't know what you do for your spiritual practices. I always recommend prayer, but like sometimes when you talk to God and you wait for God to talk to you, like what do you think about that? Leave it in the comments, bro, for real. Because I think that right there, I think that's a game changer, man. You just turned it off.
Yeah.
And just rode in silence and just let your mind think.
Yeah.
How often do you let your mind do that?
Now, every day. Every day now, man. Like I try not to even get on social media, bro. Like the only reason I do is to check my comments because I make content. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People comment. So I try to stay involved with the people who comment.
Right.
But I try to stop myself from doom scrolling, man. Like I try not to do it at all now. Like I just put the phone down. I straight up put the phone down, man. Like now, like I used to like put my phone in a place where I know I can remember it, but now I just sit it down. You know what I'm saying? When I need it, I'll find it, but I just sit it down anywhere. I usually put my phone in specific places.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I forgot where it was. This spot, this spot, this spot. And it's usually in one of those spots. But now I'm just putting it down, like putting it straight down, not even thinking about it no more. Like straight up, man. Like I'm trying to detox from it, bro. Cause it's like it's becoming an addiction.
Yeah.
The internet is becoming an addiction.
Man.
You know,
no, go ahead.
The more I think about it,
go ahead.
the more I think about it, man, the more things that I like. I've been thinking about this for a while, but I was still like, I'm still in it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was thinking like, yo, this is a problem, but I'm still in it. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
But man, I'm trying to get out of it, man. I'm trying to get all the way out of it. Like that's the thing. Like when you be like, I don't even be on TikTok like that. I'm like, man, I'm trying to get like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I can catch myself scrolling. I don't really scroll on TikTok all the time, but when I do scroll, I can catch myself scrolling for a while, man.
Yeah,
like for a
yeah,
while, you
yeah.
know, and not doing anything. I remember it was one day during the week. Like my weekdays are usually supposed to be for work.
Right.
But it was one day during the week, man. I spent like 2 hours on the internet,
Just scrolling,
just
laughing at
scrolling, and I
videos. Yeah.
wasted the day, and I felt bad. Like I wasted the day,
The
Dad.
whole day.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Nothing was done that day except like exercising, man. But like
Mm,
none of my work, like none of my practicing was done that day. I didn't read nothing that day. I just
Wow.
turned on my phone,
Wow.
watching YouTube videos, going through Instagram reels, going through TikToks, man, and the day was wasted. Like it's bad, man. It's bad. It's bad. I think it has
Yo,
something to do with our brains and our dopamine and all of that stuff. But yeah, I don't like it. I don't like where we're going with the internet, man.
my brother. My
Especially,
brother.
look, not just the internet, but AI as well.
Mm.
That is some scary stuff. Because I've been doing research on that stuff, and it's very scary.
They
That's
gon-
another
They
conversation.
gonna start coming out with them the rope. I was finna bro, the robot. I was finna say robot. The other way, the robot women. Yeah, say it. They start coming out with the robot women, bro. And you know what though? But to like what you said, I think the human brain is getting weaker.
Yeah, I think
Like
so too.
one of the quotes that I say is borrowed strength builds weakness. My dad would say this. He would say,
It's a bar.
yeah, borrowed strength builds weakness. So if you
Mm.
using something else as your strength,
Yeah.
you get weaker. If you not, and look, okay, so I remind me of the comment that Dad used to say.
Okay.
But what you said when I watched Dragon Ball Z, I always wondered why Goku and Vegeta trained in their human form.
Mm.
Why didn't they go Super
Super
Saiyan
Saiyan.
and train in Super Saiyan?
Yeah, and yeah,
And
I
it's
see where you're
because
going.
if I make my regular body stronger, all of those other levels are gonna automatically be stronger because of I'm stronger. And they went. You remember they went to? I think it was the hyperbolic time chamber, and it was so hard for them to move. They didn't even know how to. When they was, you know, and it was like that came back to my mind when the doc borrowed strength builds weakness. Like you looking for something else to give you that strength to overcome it when you really just need to be harnessing the power that you have within you, creating something, thinking about something, like putting something together, bringing those, you got this over here, this, and if you can align those things, now we got something. And just like that's bro, you struck a nail. But my dad, he would say this. He would say, the next generation is always gonna get wiser but weaker. And I never understood what he said when he meant that, because I feel like I had surpassed certain things with my dad at a certain age, to where I'm like, I guess like the concept of my understanding came full circle, full circle.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say that his didn't, but it came on a different level. But he said wiser but weaker, and I understand what he meant now when he says that, because maybe in his generation, I'm not even gonna say maybe, they memorized everybody's number.
Yeah.
We had phones.
I used to memorize everybody's number, bro.
I did too, until we got the cell phone, and we don't have to
know
think about
nobody's number now.
They had the yellow pages, man. You had to flip through and find the name. You had to remember it. Like, bruh. I think, it's set up to make our minds become weaker.
I don't think it's set up that way, but I think it's become that way with how we consume it. You know?
Yeah.
I don't think the internet itself is bad. I think the way we consume the internet is bad.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Right. We don't have restraint.
Yeah,
we don't have discipline. We don't have self-control.
Yeah, because the internet is good. Information is at our fingertips. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we can learn whatever we want to learn for real, for real. You know, there's nothing holding us back from learning something. But we don't really use it for that all the time. You know?
We don't.
We use it more for entertainment, which going back to what I said, we don't even get entertained all the time. Like we're still bored.
Bro, that comparison right there,
yeah,
that's a real that's I never thought of that.
I'm telling you, I be thinking, man. I be thinking about all of that stuff, man. I be thinking about all of that stuff. But
look, let me ask the question. How my brothers that are watching, how long do you give your brain time to just think?
Just think.
I think when you give your brain that time to just think, those are the times that my job be depositing thoughts in your brain.
Yeah.
That's a good one, bro. I'm
Yeah.
gonna start doing that. I did that, like, to have the day off. Sometimes I just be lazy and I just can lay there and watch reels, funny reels,
Yeah.
or I like watching lions kill and eat, bro. It's insane.
Now
But
look, don't get me wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with doing that stuff. You know
but
what I'm
your
saying?
point
Like,
is valid though.
yeah, yeah.
But you was finna say, I'm sorry, bro.
No. Like you, you know, you understand what I'm about to say. Like, you know
Yes,
what I'm about to say.
that point is 100% valid, man. I
Yeah.
think we missing our mark because we don't give my job time to just speak to us, like talk to us, like let me process how I feel right now. Let me process what I think I need to do right now. Let me process
Yeah.
my next move. Let me process a plan. Let me come up with what do I want to create for the rest of my life. Like, let me process that. Let me put something together. Like, we don't give our brains time. Go ahead.
You know what I think about when it comes to like God and
Yeah, okay.
that like lines up with what we're talking about. A lot of people, when they had a direct encounter with God, it was always, well, not always, but a lot of the times, it was isolated from everything and everybody. When
Mm,
Moses saw
mm.
God for the first time, it was way on the other side of the mountain, away from everything and everybody. It was just him and God. It was just him when he went to Mount Sinai. He said, "Hey, y'all stay down here. I'm finna go up here, away from everybody and everything."
Let me
Like,
tell you what's deeper than that. When his first encounter with God, that's what I thought you were talking about. On the backside, look,
yeah,
on the backside of the desert, on the side of a mountain. That means you far away from everybody and you higher up than anybody would ever be. And
mhm.
then this is where God is like, he revealed, oh, bro,
And
bro, bro,
look,
bro, bro.
look. Another thing about that is when you know what I'm saying.
Yo, 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 yo.
It
That's
is when he
that's
says, "Go to your secret closet, man." Like,
yeah,
isolate yourself. You know what I'm saying? Let
yeah.
it just be me and you, because that's like a direct. You know what I'm saying? Everything else is gonna be a block. Is like a distraction. You know what I'm saying? Like something that's gonna block the signal a little bit. You know, like,
Bruh,
yeah, yeah. I
bruh.
be thinking about that all the time, especially when I see scriptures that you know what I'm
Talk
saying.
about the
Yeah, that line up
bruh.
with that. I'm like, it makes sense. We need to like, isolate yourself, man. Like, get all of this
Detox
stuff.
off social
Detox,
media.
detox, man.
Detox your mind from bruh. Let me tell you how heavy that concept is right now, dog. That right there, that's from my job. That's my job right there. I ain't even lying. That's my job.
I
That like
wouldn't be
like my
surprised,
job,
man.
bro. That's from him. For real, bro. Let me tell you something. That is that's from him, dog. That's from
Yeah.
him. Look, my brothers, you need time to think and process. We need to do this, bro. In the mornings, we not picking up no phones. We not picking up no books. We picking up a tablet to write
Mm,
and just process your own mentals, bro. Like, bro, that's
for
from
real,
my
for real.
job right there. Like for real, that's my job,
I believe it, man. I believe it, man. Like, seriously.
man.
That's something that I like. I'm serious about that stuff, man. I don't like it. I don't like it, man. I don't like where
Man,
it's going. I don't like where it's going.
that is quite the concept right there, bro.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
Now look, it's another thing that I want to talk about. How long are we doing this?
Man, we got time. I got time.
Okay. So
You
look,
got time?
yeah.
Got a little
Okay,
time.
so
Okay,
look,
okay.
let's shift the conversation
Okay.
because I want to get to the main reason why I wanted to have this conversation.
Okay.
So I want to talk about some thought experiments that I've been having
Mm-hmm.
regarding God and regarding how we should not how we should understand it, but a different way a different way to approach understanding what God is and how God moves, you know?
Okay. What is a thought experiment for
Uh,
somebody that's
Well,
watching?
for me, I use that term. It just means like uh a thought, a concept, and then just expanding on it to see where it applies and
I
if
got
it's
you.
valid or not.
I
You
got
know
you.
what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
Okay. Okay.
it's like think about it in like scientist terms. So
Okay.
they like
Like a
if
hypothesis, and then you
like
test the
yeah,
hypothesis.
exactly,
Got you. Got
exactly.
you. Got you. Okay.
So like I let me just give you let me just lay it out. So
Okay.
I used to watch a lot of Christian and atheist debates when I
I
was
love
a
it.
teenager.
Yes, bro. I love it. I
And
love it.
one of the common things that I always saw was that it was very common, excuse me, it was very common for like a Christian to be asked a question that was hard to answer. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Because of logic. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of there are a lot of paradoxes when it comes to what God is as
Mhm.
far as our logic. So for example, there were like two that there were two paradoxes that I was really exploring for a while. So it was one, he's all powerful,
Mhm.
right? So the paradox is if he was all powerful, he would be able to create a rock that was so heavy that not even he could lift it. So if he could lift it, then he can't create something so heavy that he can't lift it. But if he actually can't lift it,
Then
then
he's not all
he's not all
powerful.
powerful. You know what I'm saying? So like things like that. You know what I'm saying? Things that don't
Right.
line up with our logic. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Right.
I started to think, okay, so I wanted to understand I wanted to understand what God was. I would I would pray and ask God to reveal himself to me, like show me what he is. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I can understand him so I wouldn't be so confused, you know? Because I
Mhm.
was confused on these things too. Like I didn't have answers for these things, you know? Excuse me. Now, where the thought experiment came from just my deep thinking on this. You know, I've been thinking about this for a while. And when an angle to approach it is not an angle that we should approach our same logic with. So like for example, when people create computer programs on a computer,
I'm glad you said that
a
because that's
com-
what my mind was.
mhm,
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
computer program is programmed to do a thing in the computer,
Right.
but the program cannot fathom the human that created it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Right.
like the program understands the program. You know what I'm saying? It could kind of replicate what a human is. It could describe what a human is, but the program itself is not vast enough to understand what, you know what I'm saying, what it feel like to touch grass with your feet,
Exactly.
what a cheeseburger tastes like. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. Right.
Simple things for us,
Right.
but a program is unfathomable.
Right.
So, with that mindset, we have to approach understanding God the
My
same
job.
way.
That's right. That's
So,
right.
when we well, at least when I approached understanding him, I tried not I tried to think outside the box because you have to when you're dealing with a being that created everything. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So you have to think of it as outside of our natural world.
That's
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
That's right.
Outside of our natural creation. So the concept of time is
Mhm.
not a thing outside of our create. Like time existence is our computer. You know what I'm
You're
saying?
right.
Existence, all of that is our computer. And a lot of the things that we come to conclusions on is based off the rules in here.
Right.
So like
Right.
right,
Right.
right,
Right.
right. So and I think that God knows this. I think that God knows this. And I think that God gives hints about this in the way that he moves in the Bible. So we were talking about a concept of I have prepared. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? God
Mhm.
using that, God preparing something way back in time so that something can happen
This
right in this
man,
instance, right?
multiple,
So
multiple,
like
multiple
for
times. Yeah.
example, for the viewers, Jonah, the story of Jonah and the whale, right? When
Look
God,
at how many times it says God prepared. Just
yeah, yeah,
count the
it's a lot.
times.
It's a
Yeah.
lot. But the story of Jonah and the whale, God told Jonah to go save these people, and Jonah was
Right.
like, "Nah, I don't want to save them because you're gonna forgive them." So
Okay.
he went the other way, and it says when he turned around and went the other way, it said God prepared a fish, and then he went on a boat, and then it said he prepared a storm. Is it right? Yeah,
Yes.
he said God prepared a storm. So like the concept is the storm started as a little speck, but it had to get to this boat. So by
Right.
the time it got to the boat, it was a storm.
Right.
But if you were to see it as it's starting, you would say it's not a
It's
storm.
not a storm,
That's a little speck.
but
You know
that's
what I'm
what
saying?
God did.
Yeah,
And
God
then
did
He
that,
left,
and
and
then
it
it moved,
became.
became to what He meant it to
Yes.
become.
Yes. I
So
love it. I
so
love it.
so that's the
I
concept of
love
I
it.
have
I love
prepared,
it.
right? All right, all right. So we follow, we follow. So this is the concept of I have prepared. Now this concept has to exist in our like existence.
Right.
It has to because
Right.
that's the way that
That's the
our
way
world
He
works.
moves. Right. Right.
However, outside of that, I don't think that it does. I think I think that a good thought experiment, a good way to think about it is that it's separate and it doesn't need a buildup. That's why it's so
Okay.
one of the big questions for me was how could God exist if nothing made him exist? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But in truth, that's just going off the rules
We
that we
know.
know. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? That's going off the rules of our existence, but God is vastly beyond that. You know what I'm saying? It may not need something else to happen to become something. You know what I'm saying? Like the majesty of God could have just been, you know? And um that's that. So as far as time, I think that if God were to say something in eternity, so I'm gonna say eternity is like outside of our
Outside
creation.
of computer. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we're
Eternity,
talking,
yeah,
but the computer can see us, but
yeah.
it can't fully
Right. And
comprehend.
look,
Yeah, yeah.
this is
That's a
look,
good
you know
analogy.
what, what's congruent with that because the evidence that I use to support okay, this is starting to make sense is because we say that once you die, it's too late.
Right,
You can't be forgiven after you already die.
right.
That's because eternity, like once you enter into eternity, that's there's no time.
Yeah, the computer is done.
Yeah, there's no time and there's no way that you can like be forgiven because eternity operates on different rules. There's
Right,
no forward momentum there. It
right,
just is. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Things just are in eternity. You know what I'm saying? So once you enter eternity, you enter however you left our world. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
yes,
that
yes. You enter
and
however you left time.
right,
That's
right, right.
good.
So
That's
so
good.
like
That's a good
and
way
it
to think
makes
of it.
sense. It
Yeah,
makes
it
sense
does. It
when
does.
we think about like people who commit suicide, like they say it's too late. You can't do nothing else because you're already in eternity. Like you can't be forgiven anymore.
Yeah. So
Uh,
if you exit time in a bad state, you enter eternity in that state, and when you enter eternity, you're stuck in that state.
right, right, right.
That's a
So
hell of a concept.
I believe. Well, I'm not gonna say I believe, but an interesting thought to have for me that I have is like when God makes things happen in our creation, he has to start with something small because that's how things work. He can't just, I mean, he can. Don't get
Right.
me wrong, he
You
can.
can.
He can create something out of nothing in an instant because God can do anything.
Hmm.
But based on the rules of our existence, it wouldn't make sense for that to happen. Something else would have to happen for it to become that. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I think he
Because of time.
I think yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. I think he does things progressively so that our minds can comprehend it,
Mm,
and then for him to do something like with that same concept in mind, it's like the computer programmer can see something, and if the computer program within the computer says to the creator, "I can't go beyond this point," why not? I don't know. I don't
mhm,
understand. I need to figure this out. And then the computer programmer says, "Oh, it needs a. I can create the code, plug the code in, and then the computer programmer is going to say, 'What did you do?'" And he's going to say, "Oh, I didn't factor in the Z in the area. I figured out the algorithm on my end. I plugged the code in on your end, and it should work fine." He's going to say, "It works fine. What did you do?" For me to try to understand algorithm to the program itself is not going to make sense. I say that to say if I, and this just only makes me appreciate my job a little bit more. If I was to create the computer in a way that the program could understand the inner workings of the computer, I would have to think to the 10,000th of power and then create a being that was able to comprehend because I
mhm,
know that this program is going to want to understand certain concepts of the whole
mhm,
how the whole computer works, software, hardware, all of
mhm.
this stuff. So but that's I think that's a hell of a concept. I think that's a
So
hell of a concept.
Uh, I think so too. I think it's really fun to think about because um it's a direction like it's a direction that I haven't had before. You know what I'm saying? Like at first I was stuck at a standstill, but now I feel like I'm going somewhere with understanding what God is. So another thing I wanted to talk about was when we say that God is everywhere at the same time.
Okay.
To us, that is incomprehensible. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? That's
Hmm.
literally impossible. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't explain how that is possible
Right.
to anybody without logic. It's not explainable. But going back to what we saying, God operates on different rules.
Different
He's
rules.
beyond the rules that we know. Another one is that he knows the future. He knows the past, present, and future at all times. Like,
Yeah, that's one of those things that atheists they really
yeah,
they
that's
speak on,
another.
and not just atheists. I want to say sorry, guys. People that don't really believe in God.
Hmm.
A lot of discrepancies, questions about the Bible and stuff. And I think it's just like that. And I like that the program, computer designer, and the computer itself. I like that analogy because it to me that's like perfect because bro, you can take a computer that couldn't do certain things, add more RAM, and now it does things easier and better. And the computer don't understand why, but the
Right.
programmer can just install the new,
Yeah. Yeah.
take it out, it don't work, and then we gonna fix it and put it back in, and it's
Yeah.
and then when you say that, I think of scenarios like miracles in the Bible that don't make sense to us. How could that happen?
Yeah.
We were trained with binary 1 and 0,
Hmm.
1 0, 0
Yeah.
0 0 1, 1 1 1
Yeah.
0.
I was gonna get to that too.
And now like God can just make my job, he makes something happen and it don't make sense to us. And we like, there's no God. I can't see that doesn't make sense. This is a fairy tale, I mean,
I think that's why like the miracles was such a big thing because we don't understand how,
Yeah, right.
like it breaks our rules. You know what
Yes,
I'm
it
saying?
don't
And
make sense.
exactly, it breaks our rules. So, that's another way of approaching or understanding or like thinking about the nature of God, especially when it comes to like our understanding, because when it comes to a being like God,
Right.
I don't think that we're ever going to understand him like to the T. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
I
don't think
think I
so
think
either.
that this understanding that I have is the closest that I've gotten, but I don't know if we're gonna get any closer because God is just so vast. You know what I'm saying? Like he don't operate on our same rules. Now
So
look, now look,
okay.
I got another direction I'm
I was
going with
about
this.
to ask you. I was about to ask you a question, so don't
Okay.
forget that. So, what is your concept then of God? What then is God? Like,
Mm.
for somebody out there watching, what is God? What is God to you? How do you see Him? And then, how would you articulate to somebody that's watching that can't even, you know, don't have an idea? You get what I'm saying?
So, uh, God, I can't describe what God is. I don't have a description of it, but I think the closest would be like a spirit. But when I say a spirit, I don't mean like a ghost.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I
yeah.
don't mean nothing
It's
like
a
that.
different thing.
But I
That's
mean
the only
it's a
way we
different
can describe it.
that's the thing. It's a different thing than what we know to
Yeah.
even explain. Like it's something completely different that we don't even have something to compare it to. You know what
Right,
I'm saying?
right,
Like
right. Yeah.
that's what I mean by it's outside of our rules. Like what God is, God as a being, like what God actually is so different from what we understand. There's no way that we could ever know. You know what I'm saying? Like there's
Yeah.
no way that we can know. And where I was going with that,
Mhm.
okay.
How do you know that there is a God then? Like, but how do you know that there is a God? Like, how do you know?
Me personally,
Yeah, I mean, if somebody was to come to you and say, bro, y'all, I don't know why you go to church that's stupid. God is useless. You say he everywhere, nowhere. He ain't nowhere. He just, my life has been crazy, bro. Like, God ain't real. Like, show me that he real. What how would you respond? How do you know that God is just real like that? How do you know?
I would say because I I wanna because I tried him.
That sounds churchy.
Yeah. No. But
I
look,
tried.
look. To be honest though, like that's the real answer, man. Like, look, the way that I knew God to be real was because I would talk to him and I would ask him questions and I would get answers.
Right.
I would get answers, and
Answers. How
and
would you get your answers though?
there would be things that would happen in the world that were extremely specific to the questions that I asked, or like extremely specific to the things that I asked him for.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
I would talk to God about something that I'm having questions about. I would ask them questions, and somebody else would answer the exact same question to the T.
To the
To
T.
the
To
T.
the T.
And there's no way that they could ever know that I was having these thoughts.
And you didn't even talk to them about that.
I
You
didn't
didn't
talk
bring
to
the conversation
nobody.
up to them.
Exactly.
There
You
you
know what I'm
go.
saying? So like
Yep.
there are instances like
Yep.
that shows, to me, that's how I knew God to be real, because like there's a communication going on.
Yeah.
There's a communication going on. Like seriously,
Yeah.
there's communication going on.
Yeah.
To a non-believer, something like that would sound like blasphemy. Like you can't convince a non-believer by that statement. You know what I'm saying? Because a non-believer would go based off logic. I'm a logical being, so
Yeah,
I
me
know
too.
that that's not conclusive. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but
Like,
I'm super logical, nigga. Like,
Yeah.
like it gotta add up.
yeah, like that's not real evidence to prove that God is real, but that's how I know God to be real. Now, proving that God is real, it's a hard thing to do. It's a really hard thing to do. And I don't know if we can, you know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we can, me personally.
I think my job, and that's why, you know, of course I am the minister, right? I think my job is to get people to try it. That's
Get
all I
people
can
to
do.
try. Like I say the same thing.
I can just tell you my testimonies, and let's try to inspire you to just try it and see if he's gonna respond to you.
Yeah.
And then look for it and wait for it and listen for it.
Yeah.
I remember. So look for me, and don't forget what you was gonna say, because you was going somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm not.
But I just want to share this for my brothers. Bro, I was in jail one time, and I asked my job to like come, like be with me, like let me feel your presence, like talk to me. I asked my job to do that, and people kept coming in my cell, and I got annoyed with them. And I didn't recognize, but what I did when they would come in, I would be annoyed, but then they would talk to me and calm me down, and we ended up having conversation, or we would end up playing chess, or we would end up doing something, having like a real good conversation. And then once I got out of jail and I realized that my job is using people, I realized like, man, all of those people coming to my cell was my job, like really pressing them, because they wasn't going to nobody else's cell like that. Wasn't nobody being friendly or cool or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But that was my job, like using people to speak to me, like have conversations, talking about stuff that they didn't even know I was into. They just come in and start talking. And I'm like, why are you in here? But then they start talking. I'm like, okay, I actually know about that though. You get what I'm saying? So it's like I learned that that was my job, really coming to me through people. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, my thing is to like try it. And I hate going religious or like churchy, because my job don't just operate like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in order, you know, I mean, to keep from going all the way down the rabbit hole, you know what I'm saying? But now for real though, just try it. You ain't got to be churchy to do it. Just write out something that you don't tell nobody about, and then like wait and listen and pay attention for the answer to come from somewhere. My brother, if you watch it. All right. So where was you about to take that though? You was about to.
I was about to take it to another side of my thought experiment. So since God is outside of our understanding, like we don't know what he is and we can't really compare it to anything else. I think that we enter similar states when we enter into eternity. I don't think that like we have like human bodies when we
Yeah,
go down,
nah,
you know
it
what I'm
ain't no
saying?
way. Yeah.
But if we don't, then what are we? You know what I'm saying? If we
Yeah.
don't have human bodies, what do we have?
This-
You know, honestly, like the thing.
My thing is like we don't come back, but okay,
No,
what
no,
do we have?
no. But like my point is this: like that's the question. You know what I'm saying? The question is, what do we have?
If we
But-
don't have bodies,
right? But I don't think that it operates like that. I don't think we have to have something like that. I think that what we are when we leave this is something closer to what God is. Like something close, like not exactly God,
Mhm.
but like not within the rules of us. You know, like
Huh.
not having a body.
Okay, explain that.
So like not having a body. Like we can't comprehend not having a body. My whole perception of going to heaven is being an angel with angel wings. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think we're gonna be angels, but
Right.
we're just
Right.
gonna be not human.
Right. But like my perception of that was that, you know,
Okay,
I thought
okay.
that we were gonna be ghosts in our human body up there with God. You know what I'm saying? Walking around heaven, like physically walking,
Yeah,
you
right,
know.
right. Okay, I got
But
you. I got you.
at the same time, this is going off of the rules that we know, you
Right,
know.
right.
But what if I'm not saying that I don't know any of this to be true, but the thought experiment is what if it's different than all of that? Like what if we don't have a body, but what if we're just connected, you know? Like
Mm.
what if we're just like it's difficult to explain it, but like what if we're just thoughts? I think that's the closest thing that I can say to it. Like what if we're just thoughts?
That
Like
sounds crazy.
in
Somebody's
in
gonna be watching this like this
Yeah,
nigga
yeah,
losing
yeah.
his
I
mind.
know, I know, I know.
But
But
try to
look,
help us
look,
understand when you say
I'm
what you're saying.
look, so um so when I think about our bodies and our spirit, right? Our spirit is our true being, but our bodies is like the receiver
Right, right,
to
right,
the
right, right,
signal. You know what I'm
right. And
saying?
this and yeah, right, right.
Yeah. So like our spirit is us, our true selves, but our bodies is what holds our spirit in this world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yes,
like
yes, yes, yes.
the whole concept of when we die, when our bodies give out, our
Right,
spirits still live on. You know what I'm
right,
saying? So
right,
like
right.
that's the way that I see it. Um so if we had to ask what is our spirit, like what is our spirit form? Like we call it our spirit, right?
Right, right, right.
But
We don't
what is that? You
right,
know what I'm saying?
right,
Like the
right.
question is what is that? And I don't believe that I believe that it's separate than what we think it is. I think that it's like I think that it may not be you know what I'm saying, a humanly body, a human version of us
Yeah,
that's going up to heaven. You know, it's like, well, I don't believe that it's a human, I don't believe our spirit is a human form. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I think that
Right.
it may be
It may
a
be some
separate, like
okay.
separate thing.
Have you know the Hellboy movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the one that I always quote, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like stay fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Mm-hmm.
don't think you need to say that. But the thing is the little thing, the little ghost spirit animation
Mm.
that could animate all of the like it was a little thing in there. And when we watch it the next time, you're gonna see what I'm talking about.
Huh.
It's like this little white, it's like a little white powder thing
Huh.
that animated a whole bodysuit.
But it's sentient.
Right. But then
Uh,
the bodysuit got crushed and it came out as a little ghost. And then when he destroyed the thing that it was in, it animated something else. It jumped into one of the little dead little beings and it made it talk.
oh.
And then the little thing died and it came out again. And then he jumped into something else. It was like I think that, but it had a body, but it wasn't it's hard to explain.
Mm-hmm.
We would see it like a
Mm-hmm.
ghost, but when you say that, that's what I think about. Not the latest Hellboy, not the last one. It's Hellboy 1, Hellboy 2. It's on the Golden Army. For those of you that do have seen the movie, it's on Hellboy 2, the Golden Army. The funny dude, the Hellboy, the one with the broke off horn.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a little character in there, and that's what I think about when you
Wow.
say that. It animates the body. And then to think about that with what you're saying, I'm thoughts, I am feelings, I am emotions, I am a personality. But my body, my physical body does not describe what I am in my mind.
Yeah.
But my mind can make my body look like this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But my body is not my mind.
Mm-hmm.
My personality is something different.
Mm-hmm.
That's heavy, bro,
Yeah. So that
because you can still you can be
exactly.
a different, you can separate your mind from your body. And you say, well, while my mind was in this body, I made my body look like this, I
Yeah.
made my body function. What if that is the whole concept, bro? That's heavy.
Thought experiment. Look, I'm telling you, I be thinking deeply, Dad. I be thinking deeply. But look, this is a thought experiment that I be having a lot, man. Like I be having like this. This is not a hypothesis, but just
Yeah,
a thought experiment. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
Just
yeah.
just thoughts that I be having and seeing where things line up, or like just asking myself these kind of questions. And this is where I've come to. Like, what if I'm not saying that these things are true.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that these things are true. All right. I'm not saying that, I believe all of these things, but I'm just saying if we're going to understand it, if the goal is to understand it, then these are the questions that I'm asking.
Bro,
Like,
somebody
what is that?
somebody high as hell right now watching this. And I'm like, bro, that's deep.
Bruh. It sounds like hot thoughts for real. Like,
Bro.
it sounds like hot thoughts, but
But that's sober, straight sober
look,
thoughts, bro.
the
Like,
the thing of,
crazy.
yeah, I think that
Was you high when you thought of that? Do you?
No.
Well, I ain't gonna ask the question.
no,
Do
I
you
smoke.
do it? Yeah.
I smoke.
Okay,
But
okay.
no, I started thinking of this sober. Like,
Yeah, right.
sober.
Right,
You know
right.
what I'm
Okay,
saying?
okay,
So like
okay.
these are all my thoughts. Like, I prayed to God about, like, God, show me what you are, like, help me understand what you are when I was
Yeah.
like a teenager. You know what I'm saying? So
Wow.
you know, I only started coming to conclusions when I started like thinking outside the box for real.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say something else. I was gonna say something
Man,
else. I was gonna say
sorry,
something else.
sorry.
But
Come on, bring it back to his mind, Lord.
as far as like as far as us, as far as our true spirit.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, another thing that really like got me thinking was the fact that we could read internally in our head. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wait, whoa.
You ain't
Oh,
never
so
thought of
look,
that?
I had to get off camera because I don't want to be wiping my nose on camera. It just don't look nice. But okay, wait. We can read without talking.
Yeah, you ain't never
in
thought
our
of, you ain't never paid
minds.
attention to that, huh? You can look at page like words on a page, and in your mind the
You know
words
what they
form,
are.
like the words form. Sometimes you can even hear
Yeah,
something.
no, right. No, I think you're right. But when I ask you the question, how do you know that God is real? And then most of the time people say because you can't see him, you don't know. And I would say, what is a mind? You never seen your brain. How do you know that it's real?
Yeah.
You never seen how is love fat? Is love skinny?
Right.
Is
Right.
love in shape?
Right.
We don't know what love is, but we know what love
Right.
is.
But yeah.
And
Yeah.
and that's always
Yeah.
my response. If you can't tell me that you have seen love, you see the effects of love,
Yeah.
and that's how I describe God. You don't know him, you haven't seen him, you don't know what he looks like, but you know that he's there because you feel the effects. You see the effects of what he does, but you feel what it feels like to
Yeah.
have him.
Yeah.
So yeah, but when you said that my mind immediately thought of that, like the concept of just, man, that's heavy. Being like out of like, I don't want to say out of body experience, but outside of you,
Yeah.
you're still you. And this thing that lives in you is not you.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. That's where I'm going.
That is
But like,
heavy. That's heavy.
but think about it though. Like when you read words
Internally.
and it's in your mind. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like you can
Yeah.
understand it in your mind. Like when you have thoughts, when you think to yourself, it's literally all in your mind. Like
Yeah.
when you have thoughts like, nah, I probably shouldn't do that, or and you don't say it out loud, it's
Yeah.
in your mind.
It's internal.
Do you ever think like, do you ever ask yourself where does the voice come from? What does the voice actually sound like? You ain't never thought of that,
Yeah,
huh?
no. The way
Like,
I thought about that when I started trying to understand what God is, that
mm,
God is a spirit,
right,
and in process, like God, he speaks a lot of times through impartation of thought, because thought is soundless, but you hear it.
yeah, yeah.
It's
And that's where I was going with it.
feelingless, but you feel
That's
it.
where I was going with that.
It's
Yeah.
and that's what he
So
is.
like that, and look, this is why sometimes it's confusing. Well, I'm not gonna say this is why, but this makes sense because sometimes it's confusing to tell the difference between your thoughts and
And
God's
yes,
words.
no, wait.
Telling you.
Now here's the hook to that. I would say this, because the devil works the same way.
Same way.
He can implant thoughts. Now, my jaw can hear your thoughts and see your feelings and see your thoughts. The devil can't, but the devil watches your actions and he implants thoughts too. So that to me is uh, I don't know the right word that I'm gonna say, but that's the thing, and that's one of the things that I try to tell people too. My job, he does. He gonna give you them thoughts,
Yeah.
but so does the devil. You know what
Right.
I mean? So like that's when you say that, I always, because the devil do the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
he
know,
does.
he and yeah, he got his people.
Yeah. Yeah. But my point is definitely like,
That's good, bro.
you know, these are questions that I'm asking myself, and these are questions that are lining up with my theory that there's more than what we understand in our existence. So the last thing I want to talk about.
Man,
Last thing I want to
yeah,
talk
not rushing, bro. I think the conversation
Yeah.
is good,
So
man.
these are my thought experiments that I be having. See, like I didn't want to just have a conversation, just me and you. I wanted to record it because I want
Okay, the
people to
audience.
hear
Yeah, okay.
some of my thoughts. You know what I'm
Now
saying?
listen. When y'all hearing these thoughts, if they crazy, put it in the comments.
They're gonna be look
because
crazy.
I love when people challenge his thoughts. I love it. I like to
I like
challenge
it
his
too.
thoughts
I
too.
like
Yeah.
it too.
And he challenges mine. I love it.
I
Please
challenge
put
my
it in
own
the
thoughts.
comments. Please. If you enjoying the convo, hit the thumbs up. But if you disagree, tell me why in the comments. If you agree, tell me why in the comments. Like we want to hear that. We want to hear that. All right. Go ahead.
All right.
I want to,
So
I need y'all brothers.
yeah. So another thought experiment that I had, it had to do with aliens, right? So so like a lot of us are like, you know what I'm saying, are we alone in the universe? Do aliens exist? You know, all of these. But like there was a point in time where I asked myself the question, would God create that? You know what I'm saying? Like, would God create it? And I don't think that he will be opposed to creating other beings, like other beings that are not us. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then the thing that made me think about it was the conversation that he had with Job. Like he was describing other creatures that he had created. You know what I'm saying?
That
That
Job
Job
can't
had
even
never
comprehend.
exactly. So where I'm going with that is, what if I'm not gonna say, well, nah, I take that back. I think that God may have created beings that are not us. You know what I'm saying? Beings that are not us. That is not that's not good nor evil, just different. Like I think that God may have created other beings that are more similar to our spirit than our physical.
Or he could have created beings that are more similar to our physical, but not spiritual. An animal would be an alien if we wouldn't have seen it when we first,
right. Right. But
I like that.
my angle is going more towards the spiritual. Like, what if God created beings that, to our understanding, are spirits? You know what I'm saying? Like, not necessarily spirits as far as angels and demons, but like other creatures that operate in a realm that's similar to where our spirits operate. Like, what if?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like,
you know what? When you say that, I had a conversation with somebody. I think God himself, my Jah, is alien to us. His being is alien. An angel's being is alien to us.
Yeah.
That's how we would describe it.
Yeah.
An angel is an alien. It would be an alien, especially if you can see it and interact with it, and it's not human.
And you know where my mind goes as far as like the aliens and as far as their appearance in the Bibles. I think that a lot of the appearances were scary because like it was their way of like forming themselves that was accurate to what they actually are. That like it was a way of them forming themselves so that we could understand, but that was also accurate to them. So this is why, like,
right.
So this is why, like, a lot of it is confusing.
Stay true to me, but then I'm also
like trying to show you what I am. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
because this is what you understand. This is your creation. Like, this is your universe. Because you need to have a form.
Okay.
But we don't have no form. You know what I'm saying? We don't have no form in eternity.
Right.
So like,
the best way I can present myself so in a way that you can describe it to other people is by 7 eyes and 10 horns.
Right. So like that, it also ties into my thought experiment of like things are different outside of our creation. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's just another side note, just another piece of evidence, not real evidence, but like just another piece of thought, like another collection of thoughts that makes sense with, you know what I'm saying, the thought that I was having.
Do you think that's crazy to think that way? Like what would be because I like to play devil's advocate, right? What would be a rebuttal to that? Like, bro, you just tripping. You just deep in thought. You acid tripping, I mean, ain't nobody gonna say acid and tripping at the same time, but
a rebuttal to like to like all of the thoughts that I have?
No. Okay. Well, okay.
Like
Let me get more
a
specific.
specific one.
So if aliens exist, then God don't exist. How can you bring those two together
I mean,
in your mind?
my response would be God created the aliens. The aliens are not above God. The aliens can't create what God created.
So if an extraterrestrial came down, that wouldn't make you disbelieve the Bible because aliens are not in the
Nah.
Bible?
Nah. I wouldn't disbelieve the Bible because an alien came down.
But why not though? A person could say, but that's not in the Bible.
Right, but in my mind, I would say that God never said that he didn't create other things. He actually said that he did.
Mm.
You know? So like he described that he created other things in the Bible in a conversation with Job. Other
Yeah.
things that are not the normal animals or people that we know on earth.
It's
Like-
Leviathan. Look
Exactly.
up Leviathan
Yeah.
for my brothers. But
Yeah.
when you say that, I think of dinosaurs. What if dinosaurs were more intellectual? What if they actually were? What if they were more intellectual than we think that we see them as giant reptiles? But
Maybe.
what I think of when I think of dinosaurs is I think of like a cat. The difference between a cat and a lion, though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Vastly two different things.
Two different
like-
things, same family,
Yeah.
but two different things.
Mhm.
And they have a lot of similarities. But I think of the dinosaurs as like, I'm not gonna say it was God's experiment. I can't say that.
Yeah, we can't say.
But
But
it
that's a
shows
good, yeah, it's a good
that he created things before us that were
before.
it's mentioned in the Bible, but it don't even talk about. We know that
Yeah.
it was dinosaurs because we see their bones.
Mhm.
We don't know how they thought. We speculate.
Yeah.
We speculate them to be as animals, but what if they actually? What if the? Well, I ain't gonna say that because that's insane.
What?
And animals building structures and stuff. No,
I
I'm not
mean,
gonna go that far.
I wouldn't.
But what if they were intelligent?
It's a. I mean, any question like what if? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know, it's fun to explore. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
mentally, yeah.
even if it don't have to make sense, but like how much of it can make sense? You know what I'm saying? Like just to see how far you can get. That right there is a thought experiment to me.
Right,
So, like-
right. What plugs
like-
in? If it plugs in, does it beat this? It could. Okay,
Yeah,
now let me
and then look if
Oh,
it
it
does
could.
if it does like that actually kind of line up a little bit.
Yeah.
What other questions can I ask? You know what I'm saying? So like stuff like that is a thought experiment. That's what I would describe as a thought experiment.
I like that though, bro. I don't think enough I don't think enough people have these kind of thought experiences. And then here's another thing. I think that too many people have thought experiences in altered states of consciousness.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's making me not want to drink. I already don't smoke, right? But it
Yeah.
makes me not want to drink because as I I have my daily disciplines, right? And I don't study when I'm having if I'm taking a drink. But I don't do that because I don't think I will retain the information, or I don't think that my mind will work on all the cylinders that it's supposed to. And so, I practice every day. Well, I have been lately. And I practice even if I had a drink. But I noticed that the next day I have to relearn the information in my sober mind.
Okay.
I have to relearn, even if I take notes, I have to relearn it
Yeah.
with my hands. So what does that say? I learned it in an altered state of consciousness, but it didn't translate in my conscious.
Yeah.
But now if I learn it in my regular conscious, I'll always be able to play it no matter what state of consciousness I'm in. And so when people sometimes, I get the weed question, I get the pill question, I get the coke question, I'm like, you borrowed strength builds weakness. Your mind is not retaining that. You uploading that to a different so with the computer analogy, you can upload it to the hardware of the computer, or you can upload it to a USB. I see altered state of consciousness as a USB. You just did a lot of good work, but you uploaded that to the USB that's taken out. And now when you sober,
you can't even use it.
you
no more.
can't use it. Right.
Information ain't there no more.
Right. Now, in order to get to that same level, you got to plug in the USB. So that's addictions. See what I'm saying? Bro, see that? That's addiction. So now you feel like you need the USB when you should have downloaded to your hardware.
Yeah.
Bro, that's
Yeah,
Almost
that's
true. Yeah, that's
hey,
good.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
we
nice. That's nice.
but when you speak on your thoughts as far as the entities of my job and like the aliens and stuff, man, people discredit the Bible because man, if extraterrestrials come out, never believe the Bible again. And I'm like,
Mm.
one of my and I want to hear your thoughts on this. The first thing is with what you said with aliens. My response to that would be, why would aliens discredit anything that the Bible teaches? The Bible teaches about human nature.
Yeah.
That's what it does. Since the beginning of time, what the Bible does is it teaches you about human nature and why you need my job to help you process or deny certain things about your human nature.
Yeah.
That's what the Bible is there for. The Bible don't talk about aliens because aliens don't have human nature. And the Bible is there to teach you about human nature and the things that are destructive to human nature.
Yeah.
Science is another one. Just because you can explain away the 10 the 10 plagues, that don't take away that my job made them happen.
Yeah.
It don't. To me, like aliens wouldn't discredit the Bible or God, just like science does not discredit the Bible or God. You know,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on that?
I feel the same way. I agree. I think that science, like my approach with science is not the opposer to God. I think that science is just our understanding of how God moves. You know what I'm saying? Like science is the way that we can pinpoint and understand what's going on when God makes something happen.
Mm.
You know? So like
Right. No, that's absolutely. I agree with you on
so
that.
like God says something and then he sets it in motion and then we look at the process
Right.
and then okay, this is how it's going to get to this point. But God said this. God said this point. God said the finished product, but science is everything in between.
Right. And that's what we do. We learn the science of it, but the science does not discredit that
Yeah.
God is that God created it or God made it or God, you know, I
That's
agree
the
with
way
you.
I see it. At
I
least.
agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. I was talking to look a couple weeks ago, and if you're watching right now, this is the conversation. A couple of weeks ago, a guy that didn't believe the Bible for that reason, and my thing was he could explain away the plagues, and I said explain then when Pharaoh couldn't take the plagues away, and he had to ask Moses to ask God to take them away.
You
And
know what I think? I think about explain how when Moses said this is going to happen, and then it happened, like right, like it happened when he said it would happen. You know what I'm saying? So like, how can you explain the timing? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you explain that?
Explain that nothing they could make they could copy they could copy whatever Moses did, but they couldn't make it stop. Only my job. They had to ask Moses to pray to my job to make it stop. Explain that. How does science explain that?
It was something they couldn't copy.
If the river turned to blood and you can tell me how it turned to blood, how did it turn back? Who made it turn back? I mean, look, and you can't say that the miracle didn't happen if you can explain why it did. So now help me to understand why it didn't. And the thing is just, I don't think that there's enough justification to say that my job is not real. Just like if you can say you can't prove that he is real, but you can't prove that he's not. That would be my conclusion argument.
I think that that's a sound conclusion, man. I think that a lot of the real deep thinkers acknowledge that too. They just don't want to say it. Well, some people do say it. Like some people say, like I've listened to scientists say it. Like scientists be like, you can't prove them, but at the same time, you can't disprove.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. I like your thought experiments, bro. I do encourage my listeners, man. You need to have a sober
Yeah.
thought experiment, bro.
Yeah.
Your days need to be filled with sober thoughts. And I always encourage y'all, write, man. Get a notepad, write what you thinking. Like just write it out. If you don't believe in my job, like write it out. That's good though. I'm bro. I like the conversation, bro.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Your
But
thoughts
yeah,
are pretty
this is,
deep, man.
I agree.
Do you write them down?
Mm-mm,
You just be thinking them.
I just be thinking them. But like I don't forget them because at least like most of the stuff because they're so interesting, man. And I think a lot of the things I think that sometimes I be seeing sometimes my dreams be giving me hints about some of that stuff, you know?
Okay, explain what you mean when you say that.
Like sometimes I'll see certain things in a dream. Like I'll see a being. Like I had a dream a couple nights ago. Like I saw a monster. Not really a monster, but it was just another creature. But it was like I still remember what it looked like. It was formless. It was like water. But it was like kind of clear, but it was like white in color. It looked like semen, but it had a long spine. It had a
It had a
spine.
spine.
Actually,
A spine in semen. Look,
I wrote it down. Hold on, I
how
wrote
did
it down.
wait? How did you know that it was semen and not just water or lemonade or something?
I mean, it wasn't
Excuse me.
semen, but
But it
that
just
was the
had the
color.
idea.
That was the color of it.
And so it wasn't white. It was like cream color.
Yeah, it was like cream. It was like cream. Hold on. I wrote it down actually. All right. So the creature was formless. It was like water, but it was sentient and intelligent. It defied the laws of gravity. It was white in color, but kind of creamy, similar to semen. I could see through it a bit as well. I saw veins inside it. It had one large vein that went along the length of his body like a spine, and smaller veins extending from it. It had a spherical bottom and an oval shaped top positioned vertically, like it was sitting upright and not just some blob of liquid. I could tell it could change its shape like liquid, but it chose to sit like this. The long vein ran along the oval part like a spine. The color of the veins were like silver, but as light reflected it, it showed hints of every color in the rainbow.
So wait. You woke up and immediately wrote about it because you didn't want to forget it. Okay. Keep listening. Bro, that's insane.
So the color of the veins were like silver, but as light reflected off of it, it showed hints of every color in the rainbow. It sat short, only about knee length in height. It sat on the ground and started to speak to us telepathically. I was with a couple people in a dream.
Right. Wait. So the thing was talking to you, but the mouth was not moving.
It didn't have a mouth. It just had it had like a circular bottom and an oval shaped top, like sitting straight up.
And it started talking to y'all.
Yeah, it started. It didn't talk to us, but like
it spoke to us, right?
Telepathically.
Yeah, right. Okay, go
ahead. It said, this is a scary part right here. It said that it used sex as a method of entry into a human's body. It said that it needed to possess someone or something in order to protect its skin. I got the feeling that it preferred humans, though. I assumed that Earth was hazardous to it and it could be damaged and bruised by things that we have in the Earth. After it told us that, it started to float away in the air, but it did so slowly. It curved its body to the left and floated high above our heads. Its body stretched long as it tried to leave the area and find a new host. Even though it defied gravity and floated in the air, its slow movement gave me the impression that it had a hard time maneuvering through our Earth atmosphere. I was afraid of it and did my best to prevent physical contact with it because I didn't understand the nature of it, nor its intentions or capabilities. As I look back on it now, though, it didn't seem hostile. It seemed like it accepted its defeat and wanted to go about its day to find a new host as soon as possible. There was a hint of mystery as it floated and stretched in the air. I questioned whether this was the only one of its kind or if there were many among us that we didn't know were there possessing us. I quickly realized that it was very likely that there may have been more, given how sex-crazed society is. The thought frightened me. So that was just a dream, but my point is that like
I need my brothers to hear that. I need my brothers to hear that. Now look, I didn't know you was gonna say that when you came on the show, I didn't know you was gonna say that. We might have to break this up into 2 episodes.
Yeah, we might.
Because look, bro, I didn't know you was gonna say that. I didn't know. Don't forget what you was gonna say, my friend.
Yeah, I'm not.
But look, everybody that watches my show know I am an advocate for abstinence. I am an advocate for abstinence, my brother. And what you just described to me was an entity that you could see, and that but it was spiritual. That to me sounds like either an STD or something sexual. That's piggyback. You know, demons are spirits, right? But they move sometimes like simultaneously. Lord, simultaneously.
Yeah.
They move with other demons.
Mm.
So, and you said, okay, I'm okay with defeat, but like if I can find me somebody else to jump into, I'm gonna jump into them because this is how I move.
Yeah.
I can't survive without. And semen is the same way. If semen hits the ground,
true.
it's dead.
That's true.
But something is traveling through that semen. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And to me, that sounds like something that we like you can't comprehend it, but something else is happening. To me, that says sex is more than just sex.
Mm.
That says sex is more than just sex. That says sex is more spiritual than we realize. That things are actually being transferred more than we realize. That to me, that's deep, bro.
I think
Because,
so too.
bro, when you think of it, STDs, they AIDS. If you have AIDS and you shoot your sperm on the floor, whatever hits the floor, as soon as it comes out of your body, is dead. Like AIDS dies once it leaves the body. It needs to another host. It needs a host to stay alive. That is crazy, bro.
That's actually crazy. Yeah. So like that's my point. Like I feel like sometimes God gives me hints about like certain things through my dreams, man.
Look, do you realize the cure to AIDS is no sex? If everybody just stopped, if the world just stopped having sex, unless you were married, AIDS would die with the people that weren't married. And with the people that were married,
That's
AIDS
actually
would die.
yeah.
All STDs would go away if the world just stopped. I was finna say the F word. Stop banging. That's a dream, dog.
Yeah.
What,
I
what,
be having
what do you think? What do you think that dream? Look, I'm so glad that you recorded that. The next dream you have, write it down,
oh yeah.
please.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the other dream that you said about the music thing, the Heart of Gold song,
Oh yeah, yeah.
bro. When you told
That's a
me
crazy
that,
story.
bro, I was like,
Crazy story.
yo, that's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep. But anyway,
Hold
yeah.
on.
What you about to say?
Side note, if you want to know what that dream was about, go listen to Heart of Gold. That's literally the dream bar for bar.
Right,
I mean,
but
not bar for bar. It's a lot more details that I couldn't put in the song because it couldn't be too long.
do you give a detailed backdrop of that song or how you came with it on your channel?
Nah, nobody
You
knows.
don't think nobody will watch it or listen
I
to it?
mean, I don't think people would care. Like my music channel, people don't really be on it.
Okay,
You know?
okay. Maybe we, I don't know. I think you should though. But because of this conversation. But where were you about to go with that? What was you about to say? What do you? Okay, if you weren't about to go somewhere with that, I have a question. But
Nah, I wasn't. I wasn't about to go.
what do you think that dream meant?
I don't know what it meant. I don't know. Well, honestly, when I first had it, I thought like, all right, this is God showing me that there are other things that are not us. That's when my mind went immediately when I had the dream. Like this is like a hint to another being that God created.
Hmm.
That's when my mind went. Just because like that stuff is usually on the forefront of my mind. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So like
right.
that's like immediately where my mind went. I thought that like the dream was God's way of showing me like this is how different other beings could be. Like this is how different my other beings could be in a way that y'all probably couldn't understand if you was, you know what I'm saying, if you didn't have any context. So I think that God gave me a hint of like this could be something for real, you know? Or like I could create something like this, or maybe I have, maybe I haven't, but like it's not outside of my power to do something like that. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what it meant, but that's how I took it when I woke up from it.
Yeah, man.
Well, I know what you think it meant. You just said it.
I think that's a heavy concept. When we think of Majai's creation, if we are the pinnacle of his creation, think of the animals and what differs between animals and us.
Mhm.
We have cognitive energy. They don't. They
Mhm.
just have they can learn, they can adapt, but they don't have cognitive energy. They don't have morals. They have feelings, but it's not to the extent of ours. Like we are the peak and pinnacle of his creation. But when you say that, imagine how many. It's not like he just created us and didn't create nothing else. There are things that are created within our time frame, and then what about the many things that he created outside of time?
That's exactly what I was saying.
Exactly.
It's exactly what I was saying.
Look, it's a place in the Bible where God is like, I need a lion spirit. He says that I need a lion spirit to go and lie, bring this king to his death. And
Mm.
one of the lion spirits said, "Hey, I'll go and do it."
Wow.
A prophet records this. I think it's in Micah. A
Wow.
prophet records this spiritual conversation, and the lion spirit goes and leads this king to his death
Wow. Wow.
because he tuned God out, and then he opened himself to other spirits, and that spirit, Micaiah, I think Micaiah was his name, or Micah. I don't think it was Micah. It was either Micah or Micaiah. So don't quote me on that guy. I keep telling you, I know the Bible, but I can't quote it word for word verbatim. Like Ephesians chapter 2, verse 12. No. But it's in there. I guarantee you it's in there. I need a lion spirit. Maybe it's in Kings or something. I don't know. But Micaiah is the prophet, or Micah. And imagine how many beings.
Exactly. Like,
And then look, what if he created one of those beings for us while we were allowed to witness it? The epidemic, HIV, was AIDS.
mm,
He just spun it in spirit and like, here, boom, y'all, you occupy
mm,
people because they having too much sex. You know what I'm saying? What if
mm,
he created that in our time?
mm.
Right. I mean, I be thinking like that. My job, he beyond
That's hey, you going somewhere with that.
he
You going
beyond
somewhere with
our
that.
comprehension.
That's a good man, that's a good thought experiment, man. It's a good thought. I'm gonna think about that. I'm gonna think about that, man. Cause that actually, like, to be real, that actually, like, it kind of sounds like it could make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
an entity in the form of, like, an STD. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
right.
an entity in the form of an STD. That's something to think about.
That's detrimental. You know what, man? When you say stuff like that, bro, you know what? That man, that's gonna make me like, bro, I'm turning off everything. Cause bro, I really be wanting to hear like thoughts. And the thing that comes in my mind is like, does he have room to speak to your brain? Does he have room to put thoughts in there?
Yeah.
You know, like it's this preacher a long time ago. I forgot this preacher name, but I used to go doing these preaching bowls when I was a young preacher because I had so much information and so many sermons I wanted to get out. They gave us 10 minutes.
Mhm.
And the other preachers would go over. I would stay within my time and be better than all of them because that
I
was my
remember
thing.
going to one of those.
But this one preacher talked about is there room in the end? And he used the analogy of Jesus being born and Mary and Joseph didn't have room in an end. And the premise of his whole sermon was, does God have room in your mind? Does God have room in your heart? Or is it too cluttered with other things that God has to use outside things to bring his thoughts into your world? That probably wasn't his whole concept, but that was what I got
Yeah,
from it.
something that stuck with you.
Yes. And so when you say that, bro, I promise I'm about to be like, I need to lock in, bro. I need to turn my phone off. I
That's how
need
I'm
to
trying to
like
get
turn my
now,
radio
man.
off.
Like,
Like,
that's how I'm trying to get now, man. I'm trying to only use my phone for specific times. Like when I eat, I'll watch something. I'll watch like YouTube or
yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? Or like when I'm about to go to sleep, I'll watch my show. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But like if I don't have I try not to do it if I don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Try
yeah.
not to do it if I don't have to. I try to have like a I try to do it, I try to not do it more than I do it.
Man, look, I'm when I say that's my thing right now,
I ain't
I'm
gonna
on
lie,
that.
man. I'm on it too, and I'm feeling good. That's probably why my week has been so great.
You're hearing clear, you think clear, like
I,
that
I've been thinking about that for a while, but like,
that's heavy, dog. That's heavy. What would you say as a young man to a person that smoke weed, like, or to a person that do coke?
I mean, what would I say to him?
No, okay. In the sense of I do coke, but at the same time, like I want to tap into my, more spiritual. And I feel like I'm more spiritual when I'm on coke, or I feel like I'm
Mm,
more spiritual when I take X, or I'm
ooh,
more spiritual when I get high. I'm more
okay,
spiritual when I'm drinking. Like, would you endorse the altered state of consciousness, or would you not? And tell us why.
okay. I would not endorse it.
But you said you get high though.
I do,
So
but
why wouldn't you endorse that if that's something that you do?
because it's not. I don't use it as a like I don't use it as a requirement. You know what I'm saying? Like I use weed for specific reasons. I use weed because I like to play the game high. I
Okay.
like to read high.
Okay.
Uh, and I like to think high, but it's not like a necessity to have fun in these areas. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
okay,
So like
okay.
if
I get that.
somebody were to say like I feel like I'm more spiritual with the drugs, I would say that sounds a bit scary. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? It
mm.
sounds a bit
Extend
more
you
on the dark
extending
side. You know what I'm saying?
exactly,
It sounds a bit
exactly.
more on the dark side. Because you know what I'm saying, there are many counts of people who are or who have been extremely close to God without anything, you know? So it can be done without it. But I also want to say, like, I have a small theory on like the drugs and stuff like that, altered state of consciousness.
Right.
I think that like I don't think that God approves of that stuff. And the reason why I don't think God approves of it is because I think that sometimes we tap into a realm that we're probably not supposed to. You know,
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
sometimes people say that they see things, like they
Mm, mm.
see things. And when my mind goes to
Or they hear things.
they see
Yeah.
or hear things,
Yeah.
and I think that it's supposed to be the way that God has it is each realm or whatever realm that He's created, it has its place. And when we do these things, we kind of peek into these other places and other realms that we are not designed to be peeking into. It's
Yeah.
not supposed to be like that. And I feel like God is against that because you going out of line. You know what I'm saying? You're going out of
Right.
line, man.
Right. You
Like
crossing the line.
you're
Yeah,
crossing the
right, right.
line. You're supposed to be here. You ain't supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, fooling with all of that stuff. You ain't supposed to be seeing that thing that that you seeing right now. You're
You're
not
right.
supposed to see that. You know what
So
I'm
then,
saying?
look. What if somebody would say this? So if God didn't want me to do it, why would He put the weed plant there? Why would He put the cocoa plant there? Why would He do that?
I would say my answer would be just because it's there don't mean that it needs to be consumed. Like for example,
I gotta agree with
there
you,
are a
man.
lot of there are a
I
lot of
agree.
things.
I agree.
Look, there are a lot of things that are here.
Hmm.
A lot of things that are here. Sex is God don't want us having sex before marriage, but it's so easily accessible.
Hmm.
Somebody could like they could say, why would God say no if it's something that's so natural to us that we're drawn to? You know what
Right.
I'm saying? But like
Right.
honestly, God, the way that God created our world, you know what I'm saying? Our world is not perfect. It's chaotic. There are things that are not lined up with what God wants, but like there's a way that God wants us to behave in it. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's there doesn't mean it's designed for us to just indulge in all the time. You know?
Yeah.
That's what I would say at least.
I like that. I like that. And that's why one of the scriptures in the Bible says to deny yourself. And when I asked my job about drinking, he said temperance. That
Mm,
means like it's not that it's just so wrong to do it, but you need to be in control and you
hmm.
need to control how the frequency of doing it.
Right.
And that's not to say to somebody, oh yeah, you can get high, just get high at 2 o'clock. No, 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 that's not what I'm trying to say, brothers. But I'm saying like it shouldn't be to the extent that you need the high to function. You
Yeah.
need the alcohol to get through your day.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
need the weed to do normal,
Normal
regular
stuff.
people
Yeah.
things. I mean, that's when you start to, you. I think that's when you start to not. I'm not gonna say damage the brain. It's just you're just not operating as your highest self.
Yeah.
Those things to me are celebratory,
Yeah.
not normal.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. That like it has a time and place
yes,
for
exactly.
some of these things. I don't really, mess with all of these drugs, but
Yeah, me either. Me either. I
like
think some of
with
that stuff
you
need to
know what I'm
be out
saying?
limits.
Like
Crack just need to look. I don't care how much you want to celebrate. Crack is not.
boy, crack ain't the way to go, bro.
Leave it alone.
But yeah, no, like, it has a like these things are celebratory, not like everyday things,
Right, right.
At least when it comes to alcohol. Weed, I feel I'm kind of I don't feel like weed is like I don't feel like weed is the same thing as alcohol.
It's not. It's
Yeah, I
different.
think that alcohol is a bit more acceptable in God's eyes, in my opinion.
You think so?
I think so. I think that it is more acceptable than weed. I think that weed is like a bit more disliked by God than
Why?
than
Why you say
alcohol.
that?
I don't
Why?
know. I don't know.
I think with any altered state of consciousness, I think it's more celebratory. It's not a sin, but it could be a weight. But it becomes a sin when you use it as a way to cope or use it as a way to like live.
Mm.
It's just ridiculous. A weed head is defined, or alcoholic is defined. Even a functioning weed head.
Yeah.
I think we need to make this concept a little bit more common. A functioning weed head, like a functioning alcoholic or a functioning coke addict. You can function, but you need it in your system. That is not healthy.
Yeah, it's not.
I would say that to the
Yeah.
alcoholic, but what I was going to say to that was, it just, I think it should be used sparingly and in a way of to celebrate, not as a daily consumption.
It should be used sparingly, man.
Yeah,
Sparingly.
yeah. Some of those, like the psychotropic or whatever the word is, psychedelic drugs.
Yeah.
I don't do that, because you're right. You can see across spirits, and you might
Yeah.
see something that you're not supposed to see.
You look. My biggest fear with that stuff is you might see like an angel of God, and the angel of God might do something to you that changes you forever.
You
Like,
that, bro.
like you might see something in the spirit realm, and the spirit may be like, all right, you know what? You ain't even supposed to be doing this, so I'm finna handicap you for the rest of your life. I'm finna take something from you, so that now when you get back sober, part of you ain't even there no
It
more.
ain't, bro.
Like, and that's the thing. I
That's
believe
in the
that they
Bible.
can do that.
That's in the, bro.
That's scary. That's scary,
biblical.
man. That's scary.
Look,
They have power.
Look,
They
in
have
the
power.
Bible, bro. Look, my brothers, read this. But check it out. It's a place in the Bible, in the Old Testament, where God is like, don't test this angel, man. Don't do what he say, because I think he was leading Israel in the desert, and God was like, do what he say. Like, he gonna kill some of y'all. Like, just do what he say. And it was like God just left him there, and then God just, and then hold on. The question would be like, why wouldn't God? Why wouldn't? Oh wait, hold on. I forgot which. All right, my thing. Hold on, technical difficulties. Two. Okay.
Shit.
Why wouldn't God stop him from wilding out like that? But it's like, sometimes, bro, these other beings, they have power
Yeah,
to
I would say
do stuff.
God gave him authority, man.
And that's not just that one instance. It
Yeah.
was plenty of instances.
I read one that really blew my mind. I read one to where there was like a warlord or something. Not a warlord, but a warlock that was sent to a warlock that God was mad at or something like that. Like, and he was on a donkey, and God sent an angel to kill his man.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, it's Old Testament, yeah. And he was about to kill him.
Bro, he about to kill him, like straight up, like about to kill him. Like, God gave him the okay, and he was like, "Man, I'm here to kill you, bro." Like,
right.
like straight up, like, and
I know that
and if
scenario
the donkey if the donkey didn't see it, the angel would have took him out, and he would have been justified by God. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't know why. Didn't know why.
Right. And look, another one was when John the Baptist's father.
Oh yeah, right. Yep.
Bro,
you can't talk.
He just did that. He didn't even ask God, hey, God, can I, hey, God, can I take this from this dude? He's all right, boom. You can't speak.
Look, the thing about that was, to me, in my mind, so this is the story for y'all watchers and listeners. This is the story of John the Baptist's dad, serving in the temple, and he has a response. I'm too old to have a baby. My wife is too old to have a baby. How in the world are we gonna have a baby? And the angel gets mad at him for asking a legitimate question, and makes him not able to talk until the baby is born. That's what you're talking about.
Yep. You know what? That also makes me think about like the mercy and kindness of God, bro. Because we can ask God questions, but like other things that have authority, they're not as like merciful as God. You know? I think that makes me appreciate God a little bit more.
Yeah.
But going back to what we were saying, like they have authority, man. They have authority. And I like with these drugs, man, I'm scared to peek into something that I ain't supposed to be peeking into, and I might see something that I ain't supposed to be seeing, and like my soul is taken up, or like
Bruh.
part of my like something is altered or something is punished that I may have to suffer for the rest of my life.
Bruh.
Like that's a fear because they can do that. Like it can happen like that.
Bruh.
It can happen
And
like that.
it's like my job and giving him authority to
Yeah,
you
like
can just change this.
yeah, like you can just change that and nothing wrong is going. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Yeah,
I
I'm
think
scared of that stuff, man.
I think demons have that same power too,
I
though.
think so too.
Demons can alter your life,
Yeah.
and we don't talk about that enough. Like the good entities can do it, and if the good entities can do it, so can the bad. And only my job can intervene in all of these situations and circumstances.
Yeah.
But the spiritual realm, I think, man, I think it's more real than we realize, bro. Like I think it's more real than we realize. And there's certain things that we think is just getting high, or we think it's just getting drunk, or we think it's just we just enjoying ourselves or taking our mind out of right now what we are. I think to a certain extent it gets unhealthy,
Oh yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
and it's just, and you tap into something. I think any ascent into the spirit realm outside of God, you playing with something
Yeah.
that you don't have the power
That's
to
scary.
control. Yeah.
Scary.
These entities know that we are here, and they have been here longer than we are.
They know
Your
that we're here.
lifespan,
Like they see us. They know us. Like I think of a story that you told me of a guy told you about a time where he saw a spirit that he when he was high on some drug,
yeah,
and he
yeah,
said the spirit wanted to get him. Like it
yes,
wanted to get him.
yes,
Like
yes. Saw
that
him looking at him.
that's the
And
thing. Like
this is not my story, guys.
right.
This is a story of somebody that told me about their experience on what the psychedelic, what you call it? The
Psychedelic.
psychedelic drugs, these drugs that you see stuff and you be like, I'm tripping, but it really be spiritual stuff. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like it's like it that also like uh it's congruent to what we were saying. Like they can see us, man. They can see us. Sometimes I think that some of them may want something that we're blessed with. You know what I'm saying? Like some of
Oh,
them may want something.
maybe they won't like.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know what they want, but I want to find out. But I know, like they see us. They know we're here. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
Some of them want to do things or get things from us. You know?
yeah. Have you
Yeah.
seen this movie called Talk to Me?
Oh yeah. I seen
The
that with the hand.
hand.
Yeah,
I
we
think.
watched that. We watched that here. Yeah.
But I think that is for all of y'all that haven't watched that. I think it's on Netflix. If it's still on
Oh
Netflix,
yeah. Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
think that is one of
Yeah.
those. I think that is one of those movies that speaks volumes to the spirit realm
Yeah. It does.
on how the demonic works.
And
They
how it manipulates you
how
into
man
like
on
into
your
getting caught,
curiosity
into getting caught, man.
and brings you to a place to where now you can't get back there. You had it.
Yeah, you had it.
You misused it because you was messing with some stuff that you shouldn't have messed with, and then now you somewhere that you don't want to be, and you
You're caught.
yep,
You're caught.
you stuck, man.
That's the thing. Watch that movie with this perspective because you can watch it and not take that from it. You know what I'm saying? So you can definitely watch the movie and miss that. But if you watch it with that lens, you'll see like how clear it actually is.
Yeah, with the spirit, like with the spirit realm, watch it with the mindset and mentality that there is a spirit realm
Yeah.
that's trying to pull you in to
Actively, like
yes, to a place where you're stuck. And bro, like this I forgot the name of the movie, but it's where the mom has dementia and the son is just standing there talking to the mom. He's like, Mom, I've been evil all my life. I've been not evil, but he's like, I manipulated people to get my way, and now I'm winning in life. Like I'm on top of I'm the best seller at my company. Like I'm here and I haven't even worshiped God at all. And then he says, Mom, like you've been worshiping God all your life and you have dementia. You know what movie I'm talking about?
no.
But the scene, it's on TikTok somewhere. And then the mom just starts spitting to the dude like, sometime the devil put you in a nice plush jail cell, but leave the door open. You can leave whenever you want. and you choose to not leave because it's so comfortable and everything is working out perfect in your life. And then one day the door slams shut and you realize now you stuck.
Now you stuck.
Then it's like she speaks that to him while she watches TV, and then she turns like, what did you say your name was? It's like in that moment, my Jai used her voice to speak something so powerful to her own son, and then she come back and like, but I still got dementia though. You know what I'm saying? It's like I get something that you don't get. You winning in life, and it seems like I'm losing in life, but I understand something about life that you don't understand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's heavy, man. That's a good scene. We watched the movie. We did a movie day at the church a couple years ago, and we watched the movie. But now that scene is playing on TikTok on like it's like
it's probably God's Not Dead.
It is. That's
Yeah.
the name of it.
Yeah.
Bro, if my brother, go watch this movie, God's Not Dead. God's Not Dead. Go and watch that movie. It's a really good movie.
Yeah.
Really good movie. And it's not all spiritually charged.
It's not. It's just a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Really, really, really good movie. Fireproof is another one. But anyway. All right. So we've been running. I'm gonna let this episode, this is gonna be the whole episode. I ain't putting no part 2. This is gonna be the episode. So like if you gotta come back and watch it, come back and watch it. But it's a really good episode. So look, closing remarks, concluding thoughts. What is something that you want to share with my brothers that are watching, that are gonna watch this show today, is gonna watch this episode, that are watching, you know?
Well, I got a couple of things to say. Firstly,
All right,
I would
let's go.
say try to detox yourself from the internet. Use it to your advantage, but don't let yourself be caught up in the trap of the internet right now. Just pay attention to where things are going. It's not looking good. I don't think it's looking good. I think that you should take a break. Just take a break and let your mind do what a mind is supposed to do, which is just think. Just think about yourself. I guarantee you'll find out something about yourself that you probably wasn't gonna catch otherwise.
I like that.
That's
man.
number one. Number two, don't take everything that I say in this video as fact. I don't know if it's fact or not. These are just thoughts.
Please give us feedback.
Yeah, these are just thoughts, man. These are just like my personal theories and thoughts that I have. Some things that I think about.
Okay, that's
These
real.
things I do not claim as truth. Do not take these as truth. All right. And then the third thing, I recommend listening to my song "Heart of Gold" to to get some context on some of the dreams that I have. That was actually a very true dream.
Yeah, right.
Very, very true dream.
Melody was rocking though. Melody was rocking. I think that's one of my favorite songs, no lie.
Yeah, definitely check that out. That's the last thing. That's it.
Okay.
Heart of Gold by DJ Stewart.
Well, I got nothing. Subscribe to the channel. Tell somebody about the channel.
Lean in, bro.
Look, if you enjoyed the episode, man, give me the thumbs up. If you've been watching the episodes, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. But this is one of the longest episodes that we have had. But I'm glad.
Yeah.
Man, appreciate you for coming on, my nigga.
Look, you know what's funny? These are our normal conversations,
bro.
Like, we're just sitting alone and it's just us two. We have conversations like this all the time for hours at a time. Like, we could have kept going for real.
We could have kept going for real, but you know, we got a time limit for the podcast. But real talk though, this is a regular Sunday evening.
For real.
While we watching football. And then even if the game go off, bro, we still be just talking. Like that's a real thing. That's a real thing. So look, appreciate you for coming on. And look, guys, thank y'all for watching, man. I want to and again encourage you, hit the thumbs up, man, and subscribe. Let everybody know that you've been enjoying the episodes, and this will help it to circulate on YouTube. I'm trying to normalize having conversations about men's health, men's mental health, men's spirituality, about things that we as men deal with, think about, go through, a channel just for men. Women, I appreciate y'all for watching. Thank you for watching. But this is just for men. We need something just for us, you know? And so I'm going to have the hardest conversations on here. We're going to talk about some real man stuff. But, you know, I'm gonna try to keep it play. I'm gonna try to keep it fun. I'm gonna try to keep it, fresh and happy. But at the same time, we need some conversation. So with that, man, thank y'all for watching. I'm going offline, bro. I'll see y'all next week. Thank y'all again for watching.